I don't want to hear this nonsense about the 30-plus million he's going to get this upcoming season because of the franchise tag that was placed upon him. The reality of the situation is that he is a quarterback that got paid about $2.1 million last season and still has not received a long-term deal. Ezekiel Elliott received a long-term deal. Jalen Smith received a long-term deal. DeMarcus Lawrence received a long-term deal. Amari Cooper received a long-term deal. But your quarterback, who's never missed a game for you, who made back page news because he missed a practice. That's it, okay? Considering the plethora of injuries you were suffering from before Dak Prescott ever got there because Tony Romo couldn't stay healthy to save his life. Here is a guy that nearly threw for 5,000 yards last year with 30 touchdowns, and you're going to sit up there and tell him that he has to wait to get paid, that you want to dictate the kind of long-term commitment that you want to have with him. First, you didn't want to give him the money. Then you didn't want to give him the terms. Then after that, you wanted to keep him longer than he wanted to stay so you could sit up there and get a bargain on him, and you're wondering why he's so ticked off. If I was Dak Prescott, you wouldn't see me virtually. You wouldn't see me literally. You wouldn't get a phone call from me. I wouldn't accept your phone calls. You could call my agent. You could call my girl. You could call my family. You can figure it out. But the one thing you ain't going to speak to is me, because there is a flagrant lack of respect that has been shown his way. I understand the economics of the NFL. Max, make sure people understand it. We heard you already. We heard you. Bottom line is, you said it ad nauseum. We get it. But in the end, they have disrespected this man. They're lucky if they get a damn phone, if he answers their damn phone call. They really are. You wouldn't see me
like that.
You would say that.
Hey, Stephen A.
You ain't put in Dak Prescott's work.
I'm going to tell you why. No, I'm going to tell you why Dak Prescott accepted that call from Stephen Jones. And it's quite simple. It's this. That's who he is. He always does things right. He's been a leader. You hit it on the head. He's such a leader. This guy was a 4-time captain at Mississippi State. He knows all about leadership. He knows about work ethic, all those type of things. And that's why right now it's easy to say, no, this is a mistake. From a coach's standpoint, trust me, you don't understand the economics of it. I never did. Mike McCarthy's going to be the same thing. But when you step back and look at it from this young man's perspective, he's sitting back. His agent is running this. He's telling him, no, Dak, absolutely no, you are stepping away. And why wouldn't he? The agent's job is to make sure that he can get his young man signed to the best contract possible. Well, we all see the way it works in Dallas. You can say it doesn't, but hey, they do cave. So, Max is right when they talk about caving. Well, when you look at it, the guys they rewarded Ezekiel Elliott. He had time left on his contract. The first time Mike McCarthy can send his message out to the entire football team. So it's important from a coach's standpoint, I can promise you, but I also get it from Dak's agent perspective, and that's why he's holding out. But to me, Dak is all about, he wants to get this done. Are you kidding me? Man, if he's got, whatever week, he's sitting back going, look, he's working out like crazy. Why? He wants to win. That's who this kid is. He wants to get a fair contract and now go out there and do it. Believe me, he wants to be at every one of these virtual meetings and staying ahead of the game. But I understand business is business, and we know if you sit out, you get rewarded. At least that's been the history of the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, Coach, if your point is that, of course, the Cowboys are going to cave, but you have to jump through certain hoops, you have to take certain steps, and this is a necessary step in order to get them to the cave, okay, I could accept that. I think that's a good argument. I don't even think this is a necessary step to get them to cave. This is just what they do. I mean, to hold out of a virtual workout, maybe it'll expedite the process by a week or two, but they're going to pay Dak. They've already offered him over $100 million. He's the one saying, oh, wait a minute, when this thing gets reworked and the TV money eventually goes up, I want even more. I mean, it's like details at this point. So I'll back off and say, okay, if the reality is that his agent, clearly, but if the reality is his agent is right, that this is what you need to do to get them to cave, fine. It just seems to me they're going to cave anyway.
Well, here's the deal that I think you're missing. When we talk about the quarterback position, we're not just talking about ability to throw the football. We're talking about leadership, which every coach and every NFL official that I know of religiously mentions when it comes to the quarterback. This dude has been a consummate leader. He's been reliable. He's been dependable. He's been available. And you have literally snubbed your nose at him by paying other people instead of hunkering down and taking care of him. So what's the best way to make them feel your presence? By excluding yourself from their face. You know what? Removing yourself, rather, and stepping back and not being available. Let's see how the Dallas Cowboys would do if Dak Prescott just hunkers down and says, you know what? I have nothing to say. Handle my business here. Let's get this done or leave me the hell alone. Let's see how they act then.
Fair enough.
Well,
Since
Stephen,
his rookie
you
season,
bring up
he's
some
top
great
5.
points.
Go ahead, Rex.
Yeah, when I look at it, I was just going to say this. Stephen A. talks about his availability, his durability, all the leadership and all that. By the way, he's been outstanding, and especially last year, they lead the league in offense. This man should be paid. He's one of the best quarterbacks, in my opinion, the second best quarterback in the NFC. So why wouldn't you pay that? To me, you've paid other guys. You paid Amari Cooper $100 million. I never understood that one. So to me, this is the guy you need to pay, and there's no reason it doesn't get done. Get it done right now, instead of him being anything negative associated with this young man. He needs to be the face of your franchise with your owner. We get that, but you need to treat him like this, and so far you haven't treated him like that.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.